Good morning, everybody. If you're out there, just saying hi. I'm going to be on in about 6 minutes. So, yeah, I'll see you just shortly. Good morning, everybody. How are you? My name is Michael Kyer, and I use he, they pronouns. I stream about video conferencing and live streaming Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 10 a.m. Pacific. And today we're talking about how to use the Zoom share screen, or shares, both multiple different ways to use it. So over the last few weeks, what I've been doing is I've been putting together a program about how to organize a large online event. All the things you need to do, or all the things you need to consider to get there, and started off with documentation. Went into some content creation. The last week I was working on getting together a presentation about point of view, when you're putting this together, the different points of view that you should take into account. And so if you have a chance to check out that last one, it finally got someplace where I actually enjoyed it. It worked finally. But today we're going to be using those points of view. We're going to be sharing some screens, and mainly I'm going to be showing you my perspective from my main monitor, and so that'll be the technician's point of view, or the operator's point of view. So that's what I'm going to be focusing on today. But I've got a Zoom meeting up. And I'll be sharing into that, so you'll be able to get an idea of what that looks like. But if you're on YouTube, what you're mainly going to be seeing is my screen. So I'm coming at you today from OBS. I'm using that to do all my captures and my scene switches. So that's my primary program for the day. I'm sending that out to Restream, and that's sending it out to all my different platforms, Facebook and Twitch and YouTube. And then I've got my Zoom meeting open with a few guests, and then one of those guests, my moderator, will be sharing in a screen. So that's sort of the workflow I'm working with today. We're going to be using a couple of different programs. I'm going to be sharing PowerPoint, Google Slides, and a video. So just to give you a general idea of what that looks like from the operator's point of view. Now there's many different ways to share these. Okay, so there's variations, customizations, different things that you can do to work. You know, whatever your workflow is, whatever the way you've got it arranged is. So I'm going to go through the basics of what each one of those are, but if there's something that you want to adjust, just know that there's different customizations, and that gets into going into your settings. I know everybody's always excited about settings, so you have to dig in. You have to dig in and find out what those options are for arranging your screens. I'm going to show some of the basic, simple ways to do it that I've used that are effective, very effective. So if you have two monitors, that always helps. Two monitors is a great thing, so I use two monitors, and it makes it simple. Well, relatively simple. So that's where we're going to get started at with today. Save the date, February 19th, right there. February 19th, I'm doing a showcase event. Okay, so we're going to be going through some of these things real quickly, real succinctly, but using the share screen, using breakout rooms. We're going to have some live content, speakers, a couple of different things. It's only going to be an hour long. We're just going to be doing some demonstrations on that, but it'll be fun. It's going to be a party, is what it's going to be. I'll admit that right now. So it's Friday. We made it to Friday. I hope you had a good night's sleep. And you're refreshed and ready for the weekend. So, all right, let's get started. I'm going to start off with, I'm going to just show you my main monitor. So this is what I'm usually looking at, and you can see in the center there my OBS with my notes for the day and a couple of other different tabs I have open. And then a stack of the different things that I'm going to show and share. So this is a pretty basic arrangement. If you're doing an event, whether you're using OBS or in this case I've got my Zoom meeting, and I'll bring that open. So this is my Zoom meeting, and then I've got my moderator over here, and you can see me guest 2 back here in the back. That's another guest I've got on there to give you an idea of what it's looking like. I've got my moderator stuff over here for my main system, which is the second screen that I'll be using. And then this one here is my second system where I'm going to be sharing from. So I use 3 screens. Well, I use more than 3 screens, but if you can have 2, that's great. An external monitor is a second monitor is a wonderful thing. If you're only using one screen on your laptop or wherever it is, then you're going to have a little bit more to deal with and arrange. But that is where we're starting from. So let's see. Just a check. Okay. So Zoom meeting, share screen button. This only takes a few seconds to do. It really does. It only takes a few seconds to do. And except when you're in a meeting, it can seem like forever. Okay, just those 4 seconds that it takes to do this can seem like forever. So testing this out beforehand, making sure it works for you is a really good idea, so that you're familiar with it when you get to go using it. So simply enough, share screen brings up your share options. In the basic version, you've got all these different options that you can go through. You can share your main screen into your Zoom meeting, or any one of your individual programs that you have open. So this is the first part, the basics, the programs that you have open and your screens. Now in the advanced button in the top, that sometimes people miss that because it's not highlighted in the same. But if you go to advanced, you have other options here. You can share a portion of your screen, a video, just computer audio, and then some other pieces here. So we're going to do each one of those and show you how it looks from when it shows up on my Zoom meeting, and then I'll show you how it looks from the operator point of view. And if you're out there right now, it looks like my stream bitrate is a bit low, so if it's a little choppy, I apologize for that. I'll be putting this back up on video later, so that's what we'll be working on. So the first thing I'm going to do is share into this meeting so that you can see what this looks like. I'm going to make this large screen, full screen, sorry. All right, and now I'm going to share in from my moderator. So you'll see in my Zoom meeting what this pops up. If I'm in the Zoom meeting and I'm a guest, this is what I'm going to see when it's shared. And I'm going to share the desktop, just the desktop one of my my moderator. So that's my desktop of my moderator view, my moderator system. I've only got a video open. This is the introduction on my website, so it was short and actually it was easy to download, so that's why I'm using it. But I'll be playing it from here, and so you've got my moderator has it open and can play it from here. When they do the share screen, you want to make sure. Sorry, they, us, we. You go to do the share screen. I'll show you on this one. Go to do the share screen, and you're going to do the video. This down at the bottom, optimize for your video clip and share the sound, is 2 important things. So you could wind up playing the video and not playing the sound, and I've done that before. And so you want to double check. Once you go through, if you practice this before your meeting and you've tested it, those 2 radio buttons for sharing sound and optimizing the video clip are sticky, and they'll stay there. So you don't have to go back and think about switching them again. So double checking that they are switched at the beginning, testing your share before your presentation, before your meeting. It will set that for you. So my moderator is going to go and share their desktop. Actually, they're going to stop share. They're going to share their desktop and make sure they can share sound. And give it a second. Sure. I say things and then they don't happen, of course. There we go. So from the desktop, if I was playing my video, oh, and you can actually see that, I can put this video full screen, and then, but you still see the outline of the player itself. So putting that into a full screen mode or a theater mode or a presenter mode, depending on the program you have, that will eliminate that that ribbon at the top, that control bar. So then you won't have to see that. But it's that simple. So you're just sharing your desktop, sharing the video, you're showing a picture of that video, and then you can go ahead and play it. And you can see it's a little choppy, but that's from my website. So I'm basically just limited on my system resources is what the problem is. So, and that is it. That is your share screen. That's what you're going to be seeing if you're in a Zoom meeting. And then you can adjust that and stop it, whatever you need. So that is the share screen from my moderator system. All right. Now, if I were going to be doing this, and I share this from my screen, I'm the operator. So I'm going to go and I'm going to share video. I've optimized it for video clip, and I'm sharing my sound. Now, no, not video, share screening. Back to basics. I'm going to share my screen 1. That's what I'm going to share. Go ahead and put those down just in case. Okay. I'm going to share my screen. And now you're seeing a picture of my second monitor with a YouTube tab open to my my live feed. I've got it paused, so you're not actually seeing this. You're seeing something different. But so from the operator standpoint, you are seeing my operator screen. So I'm sharing, but what's being shared to my audience is the same thing as the video from before. So I can always stop that share, and we're back. So my OBS capturing my main screen. I'm going to make this a little bit smaller now so that you can see it. Using OBS, using Zoom, from the operator standpoint, they're seeing this. This is what I'm seeing as the operator. So when I go to share my screen, and if I'm just going to share my, let's see, I'm going to share the YouTube. Yeah, share YouTube. Actually, I want to share what do I want to share? The video. Going to share the video. So from the operator standpoint, things have changed. I see my main screen, but I don't see my Zoom meeting window anymore. And that's the piece to get used to, is that the main meeting disappears. I don't see it. but it's still there. So understanding that it's still there, getting comfortable with the fact that it's still there is the part that is important for this. Is my point of view as the operator. And then, of course, I can play it, and you'll get the audio, and you'll get my reverb because I've got it open all over the place. But now we're back, and I've got my meeting up again. And that's what you're seeing. So meetings there, I go to share, it disappears. What I'm sharing is highlighted, and I've got my dashboard available to me. So that's it for that part. Now, if I'm going to go and share this in my Zoom meeting, I'm going to use OBS right now. Bring that back up. You can see that. Move this out of the way. Put that over there so you can see it. So I'm going to go and share my share screen this time, but instead I'm going to share an individual program. So I'm highlighting this PowerPoint presentation here. Same thing, I'm going to go share it, and now you can see that it's highlighted in green. So that's what is being shared into my Zoom meeting. My Zoom meeting is seeing this. I don't see the same thing. I see that this is highlighted, and I can always make it large screen and work with it. I can go into presenter view. Sure I can. Sure I can. Stop the share. OBS. Alright, let me do this. Go to both screens. Now you're going to be able to see both screens. You're seeing my main monitor and my second monitor, which is the PowerPoint pulled up that I'm going to be sharing. So when I go to share it on my main screen, let's see, that'll work. When I go to share it on my main screen, I'm going to be sharing my screen one. You can see that. If you're down in the lower right hand corner is my main screen. You can see me selecting the PowerPoint presentation. Then I'm going to share that into my Zoom meeting. So into my Zoom meeting is seeing the PowerPoint presentation, but I'm working with these different screens. So keeping an understanding of what's where and what you're sharing and where you're sharing it to is where the practice comes in. So main monitor, OBS, still sharing into my Zoom meeting. Stopping my share and my Zoom meeting comes back. So that is the basic share screen. Share screen 1, share screen 2, second monitor, a specific program, whether you could share a YouTube program or a YouTube tab, make that full screen, and then play the audio on that. So there's a bunch of different things. You can bring in anything that you've got open in your meeting. You can bring that in and share it. Yep, you can bring it in and share it. So that is the share screen, browsers, your second monitor, a program, and then a video from file. This is always a nice one, is the video itself. I can share, I don't have to have the video open in a player. I can share the file directly. And this is a new feature to Zoom, so it's something it's worth practicing. It'll bring up the Zoom media player. So if I choose my video, I go to share it, and then I can pick. It'll bring up my file manager. Open that, and this is Zoom's built-in media player. So when I go to play that, same as before.
My name is Michael, and I'm so glad you're back. If you have any questions,
there, that's better. So this video is being shared directly into my Zoom meeting, and they don't see any of the taskbar at the top. They don't see any of these controls at the bottom, and they don't see my cursor going over the top of this. So sharing a file directly sharing a video directly from file is a very smooth way of getting a video into your meeting. So you can always go back and change that to, if you wanted to go and do your, say your YouTube. I'm going to share my YouTube instead, optimize it for video clip, share. And now I've got this on my second screen, but this is what's being shared, is this, let's see, paused, stop share, now share. Okay, so now what I'm sharing is being outlined in green, and but what I see is something, is my screen is completely different than what my audience is seeing. In this case is YouTube. I could always go full screen with this, or yeah, full screen, and so now my audience is going to be seeing only my YouTube. And this is where the two screens comes in handy, because I can move that to my second. Move OBS again here out of the way. So put my YouTube up, make that full screen. So what my audience is now seeing is my second monitor in the top left-hand corner. So a couple of different ways to share things. Another one that I want to point out real quick is under Advanced, and is sharing a portion of your screen. And this is where you can get really creative. You could highlight an entire window, you could highlight your whole monitor, but you may only want to bring up a particular piece of this. So when I go to share the portion of my share screen, it'll give me this little green box. And this little green box I can highlight, and that's what's going to be shown to my audience. So I can show just a piece of this. I could go and show them notes that I had. I can focus in on those notes, showing just that. So all sorts of different things. You can get very creative with this. If you just wanted to show, if you wanted to zoom in on something, no pun intended. If I was talking about how to manipulate a window, or what this button was or that button was, I can zoom in, and I can always resize it. So my audience is getting a close-up view of this, even though my monitor looks completely different. And that's basically it. A few different ways to share things in Zoom into your Zoom meeting. It looks different for the operator standpoint. And where that is arranged on your screen depends on your own personal workflow. But putting a full screen version on your second monitor, sharing that second monitor, sharing directly from a file, sharing a portion of your screen, all of these different ways that you can share content into Zoom. And practice. That's really the key, is practice. Practice, practice, practice. Practice, practice, practice. So my main monitor, and Zoom, and share, and basic, and share my screen, and share, and that's it. Now, again, I'm right back at it. Just a few seconds, that's all it takes, but when you're live, it can seem like forever. So test it out, practice it, Have a good time. Try not to make a mess like I do most of the time. Working on it. Working on it. So I'm going to leave it at that. Those four basics of how to share content into Zoom for your presentation. And then when you go live, and if you've practiced, it's going to be smooth. You'll be ready for that change from the operator standpoint. Your audience will get a nice, smooth experience. And that's really important for when you're putting on your event, is that those transitions are smooth and they're practiced. And so knowing what they are ahead of time, knowing to remember to share the sound so you don't forget to share sound, is what's going to really make your event effective, engage with your audience, and get your message across. And so that's hopefully what I'm trying to do with some of my stuff out here. My name is Michael Kyer. I use he, they pronouns. I stream Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 10 a.m. Pacific. And I hope you have a wonderful weekend.